Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make the best potato salad you will ever eat. So you want to start by bringing a pot of water to a boil. Then you're going to get the potatoes of your choice ready. I have gold potatoes here, but you can use russet or pretty much any type of potatoes. And you just want to bring them to a boil in this pot of water. Also get some carrots. Don't worry about peeling any of them for now. And you're just going to boil the carrots in there with the potatoes. In a separate pot, also boil up 2 to 3 hard-boiled eggs. So now that we have our carrots, potatoes, and eggs boiling to the side, we can get started on our raw ingredients and just chop those up ready to use for the salad. Here I'm starting off with some beautiful cherry tomatoes. If you don't have cherry tomatoes, regular tomatoes are just fine. That's what I grew up using, but since I had these on hand, I thought I might as well just put them into the salad. So here I am just chopping them up into quarters. The tomatoes are really great in this because they add that little bit of acidity to counterbalance like the mayonnaise that we're going to put in later. So as you can tell, I'm definitely not a professional chef, although I do love cooking. I've always grown up watching people cook, and I actually wanted to be a chef at some point. So this recipe is my grandmother's recipe. My grandmother on my dad's side passed away 2 years ago, and every time I went to visit her in China, we would make this potato salad together. This was one of my favorite things that she ever made, and once I was old enough to handle a knife, I would always help her make this dish. So every time I eat it, it just brings me back to my childhood. Next up, I have some cucumber. This was a pretty large cucumber, so I cut about 3/4 of it. Anyways, I ended up using all of it at the end, but you can use however much you want according to your liking. So here I am just chopping it up into really small, fine diced pieces as well. So back to the topic of my grandmother. She is the main reason that I am who I am today because of her influence with me on music. She was the only one in my family that played an instrument, and her love of music transferred over to me, even though when I was younger I didn't appreciate it. She played piano, she accompanied me, she taught me how to read music, she taught me how to play the piano, and she always had music playing whenever I came around. She sang while playing the piano, she accompanied me when I played violin on the piano, she accompanied me singing. Every time I went to her, it was just music everywhere. So growing up, she was the greatest musical influence on me. I know that if she were still here today, she would be so happy that I was a music major. She always wanted me to grow up and pursue my dreams and passions instead of settling for a career that didn't really mean much to me. So I know she would be so happy to see me today pursuing music, one of her greatest joys as well. So next up, I am slicing up some ham here. This is totally optional. I actually didn't grow up putting this in because I did not enjoy ham when I was younger, and they pretty much omitted this just for me. But now that I'm older and I can learn to appreciate it, I'm just finally chopping up some ham as well and throwing it into the bowl. Okay, so now some of our carrots are ready. Normally I would be using double the amount of carrots that I have here, but we ran out, so this is what I have today. And as you can see, I'm peeling them after they're already cooked. You just slice it down in the middle and then pull them apart, and the skin should come off with it. So this makes it a lot easier than peeling it beforehand, and this is something that she always taught me to do as well. And then as with everything else, I am just finely dicing up the carrots. Okay, so now it looks like our potatoes are done. You know they're done when you can stick a fork through them and the fork slides in very easily. You want to make sure that your potatoes are cooled, and you can peel them the same way as shown here. You just slice them down the middle and the skin kind of just comes off with it. This is a super great life hack if you don't want to spend a while peeling raw potatoes. And here, oh shocker, we are going to dice up these potatoes here. You can just roughly chop them up. It doesn't really matter. They kind of break down more when you mix the salad at the end since they are so cooked. You can just cut them into around the same size. So next I have my hard-boiled eggs. I have 3 here. Usually I had 2 when my grandmother made it. And my sister and I always ended up fighting over the eggs in the salad because they were the best part. So I'm also just going to roughly chop these up. Alrighty, so now we are ready to assemble now that we have everything. First, I'm squeezing in some lemon juice to give it that acidity. Okay, so now for the secret ingredient that makes the biggest difference. This is Japanese Kewpie mayo. And we're just gonna squeeze in a whole ton of this Kewpie mayo. It's the main taste of this dish, I guess, but it's a lot different than the mayonnaise that you buy in the American stores. I'm not sure what it is. I'm also adding in some salt here. It tastes a little bit more subtle, I guess, and it has a slightly different texture. I would say it's a lot silkier and smoother than regular mayonnaise. So this is definitely the key ingredient here. I highly recommend. You can buy it from Amazon, or I'm sure some local groceries, especially Asian markets, definitely carry this. Now for the seasoning, I'm just adding in some salt. You want to give it a big heap. There are lots of vegetables in here. And then I'm adding in some black pepper. What my grandmother always did is she added white pepper because we didn't really have black pepper in China. So I'm also going to add in some white pepper just to be traditional. And then you can also add in some garlic powder. My grandmother also didn't do this because we didn't have this in China. But okay, so here's where you are free to add as many seasonings as you'd like. Since this is basically all we added in China and it tasted amazing, I'm just gonna keep it traditional for this video just because this is my grandmother's recipe. Oh, we added a little bit more mayonnaise because we needed it. But feel free to add Dijon mustard, pickle relish, chili flakes, onion powder, literally any other seasonings to your likings. This is where you can deviate as much as you would like. I actually do recommend adding in Dijon mustard and a little bit more lemon juice just to give it more of a kick, more of that acidity to balance the mayonnaise. And then you're gonna give it a really good mix. And that is it. You are done. Isn't this the most beautiful salad? You can garnish it with some chili flakes and whatever herb of your choice. And that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoy.